Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein, and today we're going to take a look at Nicola, the big boy himself, all clad in super armor. Now this fella is a very peculiar boss fight, to be sure. So let's start um, running through the weakness list here. But we do have, again, just our standard damage values here of 412 on slash, 198 on crush, and those are both times 0.9. And then we have our bayonet at 905 on our charge shot. So this fella has two phases, and he does not get his HP to damage cap, but you have to go way, 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 way beyond damage cap in order to actually get him taken down, so in a one shot. So we'll go over all that. So first of all, let's start out with crush and slash and see how those operate. So remember our slash and crush values here are 371 for slash and 178 for crush, okay, and 142. So that's lower than our basic crush value. And, oops, and ouch, ouch, oh, come on. Anyways, so for crush, he has a 20% resistance on crush. So it's a fairly mediocre to basic kind of a damage value here on crush, but on slash it's a completely different story. So let's go ahead and at least get some defenses here so we don't die in one hit there. Okay. And now remember our value is 371 and 222. So we have a 40% resist on slash in phase 1 here, which is extremely painful if you're going for any kind of slash damage versus this fella, because you definitely don't want to be running slash of any kind, because he just tanks it very, 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 very hard. So let's go back to our crush weapon. So for, oh wait, no, we need to, am I gonna miss? And back up. Okay, good. And, oops, okay, good. And let's go to our bayonet here. Good. And remember our bayonet value is 905. And there we go, 815, so that's 90 less. And that is a 10% resist on his pierce damage. So definitely want to be going for pierce damage versus this fella, just to make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck, I guess you could say. Alright, so if we switch back to our slash weapon, now he does have a special unique trait to him, that if you shoot him here on the side of his shield, if I can get a shot, oh, nope, okay, oh, come on, if I can get it here, oh my goodness, this guy. Being slow rolls and normal rolls are definitely painful in this fight, because they don't give you enough distance to get away from his tracking on how he engages you. There is a potential here. Let's check and see if I'm correct, that his shield actually does block things. If I can get him to behave here. Oh. Okay. And it's hard to get it to happen. Oh. Okay. But if you can get it to be come on, enough with that. If you can get it to shoot, okay, onto the shield directly, he does take would you stop? He does take some reduced damage. Okay, so let's go ahead and heal. And heal again. Okay. And if I can get it, there we go, 407. So he takes like 50% less damage onto that portion there if you hit his shield directly. There you go. Here's another shot. So we got it there. So you definitely don't want to be on his shield side because you will take decreased damage, I should say, not increased. He has increased resistance, but significantly decreased. Uh, uh, he has significantly increased resistance, significantly decreased damage. Okay, whew, oh my goodness, words are very hard. So yeah, it's a 55% reduction. And if we go just over the 15 damage value, it's a 50%. So it's 10% times your 50%. So you would do your 905 times 0.9 times 0.5, and that gets you your 407. So it's a multiplicative to even reduce your damage even that much further. So it's a really, 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 really bad option there to hit on the shield side. So always want to stay on his arm side as much as possible, so that way you don't get that increased reduction on his shield there. Okay, now that we've gone through that, let's go through his resistances for elements, and we'll check blood first. And his element resistances don't change from phase to phase. So whatever you get in phase 1, that is what phase 2 is. Oh, fine. Okay, so 142. That is a 20% reduction in our damage because of blood. Okay. Oh my goodness. This guy. He just doesn't take any... just takes no time to let me explain everything without dying. But at least the respawns are fairly quick. So 20% reduction on blood. And we'll go ahead and check his fire here. I guess we'll go for these things. Okay. And remember the formula for how to check the results here. So 185, that is a minus 10% resistance to fire. So definitely want to be doing Pierce Fire because Pierce has the lowest resistance, or the lowest defenses, and fire is actually a minus weakness, so you definitely want to be doing fire. Okay, and this idiot. Okay. Alright, and if we go and check for ice resistance now. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. And we will see a dramatic reduction, 71. So that gets us to a 70% reduction in our damage because of his ice resistance. That shield bash is so hard to defend. Everything else is pretty easy to go for. Ouch. We need some ichor here for lightning. Okay, and if we do indeed have a 0% resist on lightning, we should see around... come on. Oh my goodness. Okay. And is he going to spin? Nope. 267. So this is a 0% resist on lightning. Very, very nice that if you're going for Nicola, you want to go for Pierce Fire Lightning. Basically just like you did for Oliver Collins, Pierce Fire Lightning. Those are the items to go for, and those are the ones here for Nicola in his boss fight. Now in phase 2, things get a little bit ridiculous because his slash resistance goes to 50%, and his crush resistance goes to 30%, and his pierce resistance goes to 15%. His elements don't change in phase 2, and so if you're going for slash in phase 2, you will have half of your damage reduced just because of running slash. Then you'll have the multiplier of your element resistances to multiply as well, and also multiply the weapon attack damage multipliers as well. So in phase 2, he is a beast of a damage sponge, and so you want to try and get him into stagger state in phase 1 and kill him. So you don't have to worry about the increased resistances in phase 2, but in phase 2 you still want to go for Pierce as well. Now, a good option for Nicola here is to go for something like the Cerulean Spear Fire or the Impaler Fire. I don't know why I have two of these, But if you go for the Impaler at 1112, that's a pretty good damage number, but that's times 30% now instead of 20% because of his fire resist. That's very, very nice. So you can get off some really good damage there with something like the Impaler. That's a very, very good weapon to use against him. Okay, and for Nicola, let's go ahead and look at the notepad here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, and you can see here our damage values that are, again, just for posterity's sake to see what we're using. And here you can see that his slash is the worst option, crush is a maybe viable option, and pierce is the only real good option that you have available to you at fairly low resistance values there. You can see his element resistances here, but the really important thing is here for his HP, um, having a max HP of 95,800. It's a little bit less than that, just like we saw with the Gilded Hunter, a little bit less, but still around in that same ballpark. Uh, these are kind of the values that you're going to be running for to go ahead and one-shot Nicola if you're using Jack. Now, if you're not using Jack, it's basically impossible because this value here has to go up to 125,000 or so, 123,000 or something like that. And that's not possible to get to by yourself as a lone revenant. And so you have to go for Jack if you're using Merciless Reaper because of the fact that he has this 1.8 resist. Now, if you're going for Jack and you're doing ice, if you're doing fire and lightning and Jack, then you get a nice 1.5 multiplier, but you get a little bit of reduced values here because of Merciless Reaper with Slash and Crush. So even though Slash is the worst here at 0.9 of a multiplier, Crush is right behind it at 5% more. So that's very, very nice that you can see the values here. That if you can get to 33,600 on the dummy for Crush, then you can kill him in a one shot, very, 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 very easily. And again, if you're using slash damage, if you can get to 35,482 on the dummy, then you can go ahead and one shot Nicola very, very easily. And you can use either Severing Abyss or Steadfast Strike to take him down. But those are pretty attainable values overall with things like Final Journey or Flashing Fang and uh, um, Offensive Order and Overdrive and Adrenaline and all those others that you can go for. But the big one here is to try and go for pierce damage because you don't have such a reduction in your damage. You're only losing 2.5% of your damage, but you're losing 20% of your damage just because of Radiant Barrel being a blood gift. So that's why this value has to be so much higher, is because of that 20% reduction here, while fire and lightning actually benefit you significantly. So you can see the damage difference numbers there. It's basically double that you have to do for Radiant Barrel, but that's okay because you can actually get there. But for his status effects, we didn't actually go over these, but you can see them here in order. They go Inhibit, Slow, Poison, and Stun. So if you're going for a status effect, Inhibit is very, 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 very nice because it doesn't allow him to do the ice chunks at distance. So you're able to force him into a melee. So if you're doing any kind of Inhibit, you can back up, do some gifts or some shooting, and he will be forced into either just walking around or running towards you and actually doing some kind of physical engagement. So that's really, really nice to use Inhibit versus Nicola if you so think about it. So let's go over the one-shot build here for Nicola with Radiant Barrel. And I'll show you, let's go back to the dummy. And all of this hinges on always using the Libertador Intensified because that is the highest damage that you can get out. So let's switch up here just to a lighter veil so we have quick mobility, and we'll be back here in just a second. So remember, we need to get to 61,411 on our solo damage to make sure that we have enough to get into the fight with all the multipliers counted up and accounted for. So here on the dummy, the sets of gifts that I found that actually get me to these levels here with this kind of setup here will get me very, very close to that value, 61,529. So I'm 118 damage above the 118 damage above the minimum required amount. So we'll definitely be able to take him out. Now, when you pair up with Jack here on this one, the problem is that Jack kind of hits him a little bit here and there at the beginning with some stupid attacks and does some different weirdo stuff as he moves into the fight. Because of how we've calculated it, we already know kind of where we're going to be sitting overall in the fight, so we don't have to worry about you know, we didn't truly get a one shot or something like that, because we can have confidence in the calculations, and that will get us a very, very good, very, very accurate ballpark number. Even though it still is kind of an approximation because of how Code Vein rounds, it's kind of a misnomer. But you can see that we don't even need adrenaline or anything. Jack's gonna do 44 damage there, 75 damage, and there we go. So see, we didn't even damage cap at 96,117, and that's only 300 damage above his health bar, or above his total health, and so that's a pretty good accurate representation there. And if we go without our cognitive zeal, you'll see what we come up with that way, and so we won't go cognitive zeal this time. Okay, and you'll see that we'll be just below, which will be fine. Okay, and it can still kind of happen because of Jack, but whatever. Okay, and if we get up here a little bit, there we go, and let's head on in. And Jack will hit him for another 30 damage. Okay, there we go. Okay. And 95,191. Yeah, so you see there that we weren't able to one-shot him because of Cognitive Zeal not being active, but 95,191 was a little bit low from his damage value of 95,800, so you can see there that you definitely need that little bump from Cognitive Zeal to push you over the edge. Or what you could do is you could do a Strength and Willpower here, and that would get you a little bit more damage. So let's see how that goes. Okay. And that's the really nice thing about zeroing in on these damage values with calculating them, is that you know exactly what gifts you need, and you know exactly what's your threshold before it's not going to work or it will work. So very, very good to know, very, very helpful, and just really, really entertaining to see that you can zero these guys in explicitly to very, very accurate numbers. Okay, so 95.3 something, I saw it there. So yeah, that so you could get rid of this, and this build right here would be exactly what you would need to go ahead and one-shot Nicola. And that's all coming from just the number here at the bag. So let's go back and see what this number is at the bag, if we are close indeed to that 61,411, and we'll be able to make an accurate judgment here on that max HP. At minimum HP, he only has 30,000 damage, 30,000 HP, so it's really, really easy to go ahead and kill him on 0 star because he has no real issues. 60,452, so we're 100, we're 1,000 below what I had calculated. And what that means is that he's got just a little bit less than 95,800, which is why I use that number, because it's on the upper end of where his health where his health is. I know it is a little bit below that, but that's okay. And if you want complete overkill, you can go for some different things here, but you can't get away from this without going for Jack, because let me show you here. Okay, and adrenaline, and this will be cognitive zeal. So this would be what we would go for all on our own. And remember, we need to get to that. Uh, um, we need to get upwards of 122,000 if we don't go for Jack. So let's see here. Okay. And there's no way to actually know if you're doing 122,000 because you can't actually see that high into your damage values. So we can go show this on him. And see there, we can't even damage cap where we are right now. This is as maximum as you can get. And so doing this on Nicola will yield, let's see, 98, it was like 99,000 roughly. So times 0.975 times 0.8. Okay, so that'll give you 77,220. So we are still like 18,000 below his damage total that we need for a one-shot kill. So it's impossible to kill Nicola in a one-shot without Jack for a Radiant Barrel. So if we get rid of Jack here, you'll see that Radiant Barrel does indeed lose its luster, just because of the fact that it has that 20% reduction on blood damage. So definitely a problem there. Okay, but we'll go ahead and see what this damage value caps us out at here, and we'll get a really close, accurate number here. Okay, I know it sounds kind of weird to say a close, accurate number, but that's kind of what the science is here in Code Vein. It's very close, but it's can be accurate. Okay, so he's gonna hop up, and we'll see what our damage value is here. So 76,912. So it's like what did I say? Yeah, it's like 300 damage less than what we calculated. So you can see there that we're very close, but we're very accurate. So yeah, this is not possible to one-shot him this way. Now, if you would go for something in the Crush realm, I would say definitely go for the Wrathful Balmung in this setup here for sure. And it would be a little bit different for the setup here. This would be changed out for Bridge, and Cognitive Zeal would be changed out for Fire. And yeah, that would all do well. And definitely this would be changed out for Lightning, because this will be a 20% increase, whereas the other one would be a 10% increase. So we would do that, and then this, and Strength and Dex here. Okay, and then this would be Dex and Mind. Perfect. Okay, and so as a single, what you would want to go for here is you would want to go for mobility. Actually, here you would want to go for a mobility enhancer, Fire, and Lightning to give you the most benefit there. Okay, so then doing a solo run here on Nicola, you see how this would look. Okay. All right, and you can't really get there comfortably, but you can get again very close, very accurate. Okay. Okay. Good, and I think that's good enough for Steadfast Strike here. There we go. Okay, and then this, and this, and this. Okay, stand up, and please. Okay, we'll do this again. There we go. There we go. So 88,000. So very, 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 very close to getting a one-shot there. But again, and that's with cartridges and everything to give us the best possible levels there. Now we could go for the charge attack on this weapon to make sure that we get another 5%, but you're cutting it really, 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 really close on timings. because you're gonna run out of time before it's possible to apply the buff. Okay, so you have to go for it now. Okay. Good. Okay, and that should be good there. Or steadfast strike. Okay, and this, and you can see the flame buff there running out from the charge attack. Okay, and there we go. So 91,000. So that got us an extra 3,000 from just that 5% increase there. So you can see that you're knocking on the door of getting that one shot, but it's just so ever little bit out of reach. And even if you would go for the fire one here, that would probably be better overall. So let's go for the fire one here. And let's see. Okay, so this is how you play around in vain here to try and get the most maximum amount of damage out of your sets, just to make sure that you can actually get there. So let's go ahead and try for it. Okay. And let's go ahead and heal one at least. And okay, we'll go ahead and charge. There we go. Okay. And one more, come on. There we go. Good. Okay. Good. And this to pass strike. Okay. And then this and this. Oh, we're gonna run out. Okay. And let's pick up our haze. There we go. And okay, so 89. So less damage than we had last time. So the fortified is 2,000 more damage, but very close, getting into that 90,000 range on damage there. But we just don't have the ability to get even higher than this at the moment. So kind of unfortunate there overall. But anyways, we've seen a lot here. Definitely running Queenslayer is a good way to go, but you have to run Radiant Barrel even though you have that huge reduction requirement here on this set. It definitely is the easiest, simplest way to go about getting a one-shot here on Nicola. But yeah, definitely keep all his resistances in mind here, because these two here, Slash and Crush, they absolutely wreck your ability to get good damage in on him. So again, Flame Barrage would be great here, and Flame Spike, as those are two Fire Pierce weapons. Also Dancing Blaze would be good here because it pierces and it's fire. So those are three gifts that you can use that would do very well. Also, Crush would do pretty well, and if you're pairing up with Merciless Reaper on your gifts, those would also do very well here for your gifting efficiency versus him, because as you can see for Crush, instead of losing 20%, you can gain back 15% of that, and you're only losing out on 5% of your damage. So that's very nice if you can go for gifting with Crush and Pierce, because you're losing out on so minimal amounts of damage. But in Slash realm, you're losing out on huge amounts of damage. So definitely don't want to be doing Slash. So, anyways, thank you all for watching. We'll see you in another video, and I hope you enjoyed looking at Nicola and what he has available to offer. We'll see you again.